All right, boys, we are back in a new studio today. This is officially the Within Range podcast with your boys Dom Juan, Jared Suter, and the Ear God. And boys, since we are in a new building, it's only right that we brought a legend in this new building with us.
Absolutely.
To get it off.
Legend, man, that's crazy.
Listen, man. I mean, if you're in the hip hop scene and you haven't heard of this man, especially in Arizona, you're sleeping.
Been sleeping.
Listen.
Hibernating.
This man and his team have been making noise, been making waves for quite some time now. I would call him one of the top hip-hop businessmen in the state of Arizona. If you've ever had the opportunity to meet this man and shake his hand, you feel his presence. You know that you're amongst greatness, I would say. But yeah, we are here to do this finally. We've been waiting to make it happen. Plug City in the building. CEO of Breezeway Management. We have Bryce Breeze in the house today, boys.
got the clap.
Good luck, guys.
Thanks for joining us, man. Seriously, it's an honor.
Word.
We've been keeping what you've been doing for a while, and it's we're glad we can finally make this happen.
Man, me too, man. I like everything y'all do, man. You know what I'm saying? We you see Murk, repurposing the clips and dropping the clips, man. It looks good, man. So
we're grateful. We're grateful for that.
Very
too,
grateful for
man.
that.
Yeah, it's we tapped in with y'all, so we like what y'all do.
I appreciate that,
man. Means a lot. So Bryce, I think it's only right, we start by taking it back a bit. We like to do our history and kind of work our way to what's current, what's new with you. But originally from Queens, New York, Jamaica, Queens to be specific.
Yes.
I even read you were born in Jamaica Hospital.
That's correct.
Okay. So, for, again, those of us who have never been to that part of the U.S. or don't know much about New York, just tell us a little bit about your upbringing, the place that you come from.
Man, Queens, it's very diverse, melting pot, bunch of different cultures mixed up. It's like a little bit of everything in Queens.
Okay.
It's supposed
a lot of flavor.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like a little less city than some of the other parts.
Okay.
But once you add all the housing projects, they got quite a few in Queens, and it kind of gives it its edge,
sure,
so to speak. But I was exposed to a lot coming up, a lot of different things, a lot of different people. I played sports. I played basketball out there. And, that's how I kind of met everybody. Okay. That's like it's like a universal language. You go to the park, you get a pickup game, and you automatically make friends.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
man. And I even read that you grew up next to legendary people. You live close to Run DMC's mom's house.
Yeah, around the corner.
Around the corner.
That's crazy.
Yeah. We yeah, it was crazy. Like,
it had to be.
That's crazy. That's crazy. So we used to see them all the time.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like in the very beginning, they riding around and in Cadillacs and stuff.
No laces on the Adidas.
No laces on
Adidas. Oh yeah.
Russell Simmons, you see him all the time, man. He looked older then than he does now.
Really?
Yeah, he was living a wild lifestyle.
He had to convert to God at some point.
Yeah, nah, for real. But yeah, damn, how'd you find that one out?
Yeah, listen. That's awesome though, man. Drew, Jared, you guys got anything for the boy?
Yeah, I wanted to go a little bit back. You were talking about being an athlete and doing sports and stuff. I think I saw an interview where you were talking about that, and you basically were saying it was like ball players and then the musicians were like the two groups of people that were just good, kind of wherever they went.
Exactly, because I guess it's like the cool crowd.
I was gonna say, there's the theme that I pick up is those are two groups that get the ladies pretty consistently.
Yeah, well,
the athletes and the musicians usually do all right,
and also the drug dealers.
Got it. Yep. Okay.
They were in there too. So
you sprinkle that in there.
So you got those three groups, and usually those people like kind of knew each other or had some type of respect for one another. Mm-hmm. And they were like the top, kind of like the top of the food chain in the hood.
Right. Okay.
So I didn't deal drugs, but I
just hooping.
I did hoop.
Gotta get him in there, Dom. Dom plays.
We play every now and again, man.
Man, so. I'm a little old. I'm a little long in the tooth these days. Like I'm 48 years old, man.
Oh, 48 years young, man. Hey, but
Yeah.
listen, it seems like your seed maybe took whatever you gave him, because I've seen pictures of your son, and he's 11, I think.
He's 11.
He's got some skills, man.
Oh, no, he definitely does, man.
I mean, how many hours a day or a week, or what are you guys doing? You just keep him in the lab?
Yeah, we work a lot, but he does a lot on his own. Like, he works on his handle. He's really been working on his jumping lately.
Okay.
Like, he's do box jumping every day.
Wow.
At 11?
Yes.
That's crazy.
Come on, man. I wasn't doing that at 11.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're starting at 11, sky's the limit.
He wants to be, by the time he's 14, he wants to really be parking it on somebody. So.
Wow.
I respect that.
If he needs like an easy win on the come up, I'll be happy to be one of his first cars. Get him for like his mixtape of cuts, dude. Just absolutely breaking my ankles, dude. Oh God.
Man, he'll mess around and really do it for real.
Oh, I have no doubt about.
Now, from what I understand, you moved out to Arizona around 2004. As far as getting into the music and the music management side of things, did that take place when you were back home, or did that more take place when you were here?
No, I was already doing it in New York.
Okay.
I started late 99, 2000.
Okay.
And it was I got in the music industry like literally by accident.
Just fell into it.
Yeah, I fell into it. I just knew a lot of people, and I had a lot of contacts in the music industry, and I had a family member that just needed some help, and he was really good, but he had no connections. So I ended up helping him, and that's how. Once I started helping him, I knew this is something I wanted to do with myself.
You're not referring to Joe, are you?
I am.
Yeah, Joe Budden, for those of you who, his God, is he your god brother? Am
Absolutely,
I right?
yep.
Wow, so y'all go like back.
Yeah, I was like holding his hand, crossing him across the street when he couldn't walk across the street on his own.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you were like big brother.
Literally.
Man.
What is it about? It sounds like you prefer more so being in the coaching role than the player role in this particular situation. What is it about that you like so much? Because I'll preface it by saying I kind of like that too. I would tend to be more in the background giving advice and let someone else handle the spotlight, I think.
Yeah.
But where does that come from for you?
I don't know. I think it's just my skill.
Yeah, it's just you see the plays in that particular.
My skill is, brainstorming, coming up with ideas, coming up with plans, executing plans.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Things creative, typically people might lack or not be as
Right.
interested in, and that lets
Exactly.
them focus up. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's a good business arrangement for
Yeah,
sure. That's when it works. Is
Yeah. And it's always been like that way. It was like a little kid. Like, I can remember as early as second grade. Like, the kids getting together and everybody's like, Breezy, what we doing?
They're coming to you and asking, man. Having clout in second grade like that?
That means before they got there, they would ask each other, like, hey, what are you doing? Like, I don't know, let's go see what Breeze is doing.
Like, pretty much.
He's doing.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's always been that way.
The connector. Well, I mean, it seems like you've been connected. Joe Budden sounds like that was a big early influence for you. There's some other names we got on this list, Jared. Do you wanna hit some?
Yeah, I do, but I gotta ask, and you don't have to answer if it's touchy or anything. But because we talked about Joe Budden, he's in a very public beef right now.
Okay.
With a very big artist. What's your take on that? You got a take on that?
Yeah, it's for me. It's six in one hand, half a dozen in the other.
I feel the same way.
So, grown man music, yeah, that's a critique. But you compare them to J. Cole and saying he's not doing grown man music and saying that this guy's it's not really a peer, he's really trying to kill you. These things have some truth to them.
Yeah.
Of course, but when you look at Kendrick Lamar, you look at J. Cole, they're living a different life than Drake is. Drake is
true.
Not married. He's having fun. Mm-hmm. He's outside. He's doing his thing. These guys are married men. They go home every day.
Kendrick's with the same girl since like high school,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I think so.
J. Cole for a long time.
Long
too.
time for J. Cole? Okay, yeah.
So, they're living a different life.
Yeah.
So yeah, you know, you're gonna get different music. Like you got different music out of Fabulous later in his career as he became a father and a family man.
Love Fab.
Wow.
You know, early in his career, it was a lot of fun, a lot of, you know, joking around. But, you know, if his last album, Young OG, was, you know, touching on some other things. So, like,
Wow.
you know, if it all depends. It's all relative to what's going on in your life. And he's, you know, he hasn't hung up his player jersey
His bachelor smoky jacket. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely not.
He's still outside.
Yeah.
So let him live. Let him do what he do.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm so glad I asked that. That's the best take I've heard on that yet.
Same.
I think that makes a lot of sense. And I mean, yeah, I get Joe's point, but it's hard to critique music, but it's also hard to critique someone critiquing music because that's what it's all opinion based. It's just
Correct.
what you like. Like you can't tell someone that that's bad. I mean, you could say maybe
Some
it
of the
doesn't
lyrics-
follow music theory or something like that. And
Some of the
something would be
lyrics is
corny.
kind of crazy.
Yeah, for Drake.
Yeah.
Especially on this last album.
Yeah,
He was
last one
saying
there was some
stuff.
wildness.
He's just having fun. He's just
Yes.
kind of doing whatever.
Yeah, someone needed to take the friggin' mic from Adonis when that was going on, though, dude. I would have. That part was rough.
Don't mess with my man.
There's a artist friend I was actually working with a couple of days ago, and he said something that was very parallel. It had nothing to do with the Drake and Joe Budden situation, but what really resonated with me in this conversation is he said, when you make yourself known as an artist and when you do that for such a consistent amount of time, there's a specific story that you want to tell. Drake has told that story many of times, and at this point now he's like, I don't want to be 40 talking about those things. Why not just implement those things now, having fun with it, and then before I'm decided to be done, I've said what I needed to say. I became who I wanted to be. And I think even with like J. Cole and Kendrick, like there's a balance with that. If you ever notice when Jay was popping, M was popping, they're very different styles, but it made much ground. I felt like that it just, you need that balance.
Yeah, of course.
It's good for hip hop, right? I mean, hip hop needs that, you know?
But there's a lot of joking around kind of rap. It's so much of it. So I feel like the pendulum is kind of like leaning towards clown rap. You know, too much. Yeah. In my opinion. So as one of the big three or whatever they want to say, I would like to see Drake take more steps towards putting together like a cohesive like piece of work that's like really rap. I would like to see it. I don't think it'll ever happen. I think we're waiting for a unicorn to fly by.
Yeah.
But I would love to see that. But I feel like J. Cole's no longer waiting for anyone else to do it, and he's really just stepping on everybody's face right now.
And man, his feature game is just...
Yeah, he's
an automatic 10 out of 10
He's setting
verse.
out to embarrass.
Yeah, and telling people he's doing that. Yeah,
Like that's what he's doing.
he's been saying that since his bank account verse. Yeah, that's what he's been. He's like, don't even want to rap with me. Yeah,
so.
those guys are nasty. That first person shooter though with him, that was nasty.
Well, and everyone says that cold bodied.
It's as
cold
big as the
bodied Drake
Super Bowl,
on
but
that.
it's just some shit dude you guys did in the studio. Come on,
Yeah.
that's hard.
Yeah, he that was purposeful.
Yeah.
That he went hard on that one. Yeah, I feel like you
and
get
then
the Drake.
he's like kind of like fronting like he's being friendly, but he's really not.
Yeah.
like that.
It's funny.
Yeah, call someone if I was in the hip hop game like that, I wouldn't want to go to battle with. I don't think.
No,
Like,
because
that
he
would-
plays like the Buddha, Cheech and Chong, like Zen vibe, but you know, like you hear the man's song, so you know
He's a lyrical
he will cut
assassin.
you up.
lyrical assassin. But man,
Yeah, I like Merc against anybody.
hey, listen. So and it's interesting that you talk
real.
about.
Yeah,
Yeah, facts.
I'll take some action on that.
Well, and it's interesting. I think that you bring up kind of like that you feel like hip hop's going in the clown direction because Merc is the farthest from that as far as an artist goes. Like when Merc spits something or he puts out a song, you hear the passion, you feel the fierceness of it. I mean that you guys don't come to play when he puts something out.
No, and he's Anakin Skywalker.
Oh,
He's come to restore balance to the Force.
I like it.
I like that.
He's coming.
And you know
Are
what?
you Obi-Wan
Okay.
then? You have the high ground?
Yeah, I'm more like the Chancellor.
The Chancellor, okay, I like that. You're Palpatine.
I love it.
But it's almost in a sense, though, and I don't want to get anything too specific, but a few months back, there were some things said about Murk and what he should have did and why he should have this, but it's like, if you're the top dog in something, like you can, and if you're a grown man on top of that, you have the choice to move as you want to, and for what Murk has done in his career and what y'all have built up, like the man can move as he wants.
I agree. And it was what it was. It was a chapter. It's done. But yeah, man, it was really weird. Honestly, like all of that, and a lot of it was because the subject had motion. It wasn't necessarily because they really thought he should do that.
Right.
But it was a hot button topic,
Yeah.
and it was easy for people to chime in and give their opinion. And then it's a lot of people was just waiting in the bushes to have an opinion.
Yeah.
That
didn't necessarily need to have one.
they didn't need to have one. And then after 2 or 3 years of constant domination, people want to have something to say about that person that's been dominating.
Right. Yep.
And it gave people an opportunity to have an opinion. So, it was a moment.
I think we know who came out on top on that one.
Yeah, man, because the outworking everybody and out qualitying everybody, that really, that's it. That's really the key.
Yeah.
The key is that.
Yeah, the work speaks for itself.
These things are passing moments, but every day when we wake up, we are really getting to it.
Yeah.
Like literally.
We see it.
Flying all over he was just on the radar. Dude, like that's crazy. Drake and Central C were on that. That's as big as a platform gets. I mean, it really is.
Yeah. So this is
really doing it.
Things we've done, like, Flex, On the Radar, Sway, Bars I-95 a couple times. We brought Bars I-95 to Phoenix. That platform came to Phoenix to do his episode.
Wow,
right here.
I did not know that.
Yeah, that happened. So,
Come on, man.
they're a huge platform. So,
If the man doesn't want to do a contest, come on, man. You're going to waste his time with that? But, nah, man. No, you guys, we had Murk on the show, and it was an honor just to be in his presence because we've been keeping up with him for a while. And Jared, you remember the moment when we learned that y'all were cousins? Bro, he dropped that gem on us off camera. We were like, all right, when we see Bryce, we got to bring this up. Like,
Word, it's crazy. It's my cousin, and it's such a wild, crazy way that I found out. So I have other cousins that are here in Arizona. Well, one of my first cousins is here. Shout out Adrian, and he's here. He's been here like almost as long as me, or maybe even a little bit before me. So, and I don't get to see him as much as I would like to, but from time to time I do. So, for a little short period of time, my other first cousin, his name is Robert. He was in town because he was on an assignment that had him here, and it was the first time that the three of us had been in a room together. This happened like 4 years ago. And it was opening day for football. We watched the Giants together.
Nice.
And first time we were in the same room together probably in 20 years. Just three of us. And we took a picture and everything. And then I ended up telling my dad about it. I was like, yo, Pop, guess who I was with today? And I was like, Adrian and Robert. He's like, word, for real? I was like, yeah. He's like, you got other cousins that live in Arizona. And I was like, who? And then he was like, well, your cousin Tamika lives in Arizona. Now, my cousin Tamika is, let me explain this to you. Now, my cousin Tamika, her grandfather lived like in the same, this is in South Carolina, so it's the same property.
Okay.
So it's like maybe like 50 yards away. Mm-hmm. So it's one house over here, one house over here. My grandfather and her grandfather are brothers.
Oh wow.
Wow.
They live in the same property, land that's family owned.
Okay. Yeah.
So, we used to walk back and forth and play together. She's like a couple years older than me, my cousin Tamika. So I looked for her on Facebook. I see a female face that looks just like mine. I said Tamika Allen, my last name. And I was like, oh, that's got to be my cousin. I hadn't seen her in years. So I reached out to her, and Murk is her son.
Wow.
Wow. No way.
Yes.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
What?
Yes. So he's my cousin.
Man.
So that's just how that went. Now, us as kids, me and Tamika used to play when we used to both go to South Carolina for Easter or summer. We was like little kids playing in the field.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I've been knowing his mother since I can remember.
Yeah.
Wow.
Man, incredible. Yeah, that he dropped that gem on us just casually, and we were just like, "Wait, what'd you just say?" Like,
Yeah, that's a fact. And how we started working, it was because she told me, she was like, well, she saw my brand, Plug City. She's like, oh, I think my son has some of those T-shirts.
Oh, no way. Wait, without knowing?
Without knowing.
whoa,
Yeah.
dude.
So she saw that and she's like, yeah, my son, he raps. I didn't even know.
That Murk was wrong.
I knew of J Murk, the name, but
That's right, J Murk.
but I didn't put two and two together. I didn't really pay attention to him like that.
Yeah.
And then at this time, this is when he was on his first comeback, when he was really coming back, and he came back as Murk,
Okay.
and he was doing music. So he was, he was trying to get it going, but he hadn't reached my radar yet.
Yeah.
But his mother put me on to like me paying attention to him.
Mm-hmm.
Once I did, I saw what he was doing. I liked what he was doing. He figured out who I was immediately, and he knew of me, but he just didn't know I was his cousin. So he came to see me probably like maybe a week later,
Yeah.
and we had like I can't exaggerate. We had maybe a 17, 18-hour conversation.
Wow.
Like we just hung out all day and talked.
Wow.
And we got caught up with each other, and I got caught up with his life. He got caught up with mine. And I knew that I wanted to work with him after that conversation, but I didn't right away. I watched him for about a month and a half to see what he was doing, and see what I could add, or what I could tweak. And then once I watched him for about 4 to 6 weeks, I had the whole plan. Wow. And then I had him come meet me again. I said, here's what we're going to do. And we started and we never stopped.
Man.
Wow.
And you guys have been just off to the sky ever since.
Nah, for real.
Man.
That's
Literally.
crazy.
Drew, can we get some claps for that? You got a sound effect? I know Drew's lagging a bit.
Honestly, I was just mesmerized by the whole
Yeah,
story.
that's-
I was completely psyched in.
I know, same. I was like, is Drew hearing this?
The fact that he was repping Plug City without knowing that was you or your connection.
That's wild.
That I forget the other guy's name, but do you know Bruce Buffer, the UFC
Yes.
announcer? Do you
Yes.
know his brother? Do you know the boxing announcer?
Yeah, Michael
also
Buffer.
Michael Buffer. They're brothers, and they didn't know that they were brothers until they were both combat sports ring announcers.
30 years later. I think it's
I'm
30
dead serious. They're brothers. They had no idea each other existed. They both became ring announcers of boxing and UFC. And then once they hit those peaks, they were like, Buffer?
It's like the Spider-Man meme. It's like
they're brothers. Is
That's
that not crazy?
crazy.
Yeah, that's all I could think of.
I thought one got on and put the other one
That's
on.
what I
No,
thought.
they didn't. They both did it independently without knowing about each other. It's crazy. I mean, how do you explain that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Meant
And
to
then
be.
Merck's wearing your shirt. It's that kind of a thing. Those are the signs.
Yeah.
Right.
People are always like, how do I know? How do I know?
And
No,
now
you know.
Murk is co-CEO of Plug City Records.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
And
Let's go.
and independently signed to himself. Like we structured a deal just like Jay-Z's deal with Rockefeller. It's the same kind of deal.
Man.
What can you go into some details on that? What does that look like? Or not obviously the numbers or anything, but just
But
how
it's
do
like-
you look to
it-
structure something
it's-
like that for someone that might
It's
not know?
well, he's 1/3 of it. So it's me, himself, and then we have a partnership group. That,
Okay, so not just you taking a cut of his thing. It's a joint venture, basically,
joint
kind of thing.
venture.
Okay, yeah, that makes
Correct.
sense. That's the way to do
So
it.
he's
That's
the
when your
he's-
incentives are all aligned.
He's the owner,
Wow.
and he's the spearhead, and and we're once we already have our eyes on who's next, who's coming next, but we gotta we gotta break him through first, and then we got some other things coming, some nice things.
Nice. In general, because Merk's at a pretty incredible point of a career. It's like a volcano that's just about to. It's Mount St. Helens,
Right.
The mountain's deforming right now, and everyone's wondering what the hell's going on, and it's about to blow. What, I feel like from our interviews and talking to people, we have a pretty good understanding of the very initial stages of like getting going. What's the spark typically that you would see for someone in like a Merk stage? Is it doing the freestyles and one of those goes viral? Like, and obviously it's not just one thing, but
It's a combination of things. So it's his awareness. It's people know, like people like we going in places and they already know who he is.
mm-hmm.
So like, and the right people, not just what I'm saying. It's like these rooms they're starting to become more familiar with him. Like we went to the A3C at the conference, and he walks in there, and like half the people in there are already aware of him. Like, oh shoot, it's Murkemz. Oh, it's Murkemz. It's Murkemz.
That's crazy.
So like once those things start happening, the degrees of separation are shortening, and him doing these freestyles, it's just him like kind of doing his street ball, showing that look, I could do this. I really do this. I really do this.
Yeah.
But like eventually, we got a couple of bigger records coming for the new year.
Ooh.
And it's gonna.
Those are some ones.
Yeah. We got something real special coming, really.
Man.
I
So
can only imagine what
Oh,
that's
man.
gonna be, dude.
Getting
I'm fired up
goosebumps,
thinking
getting
about that.
goosebumps.
I love that. So to me it seems like you take phase one is put the product out there and be as good at your craft as you can possibly be. I think Merk has hit that pretty objectively. And then it's building the brand and who you are as a person that really starts to make you a lot more magnetic. Is that roughly
Yes.
the path?
Yeah, that's a big part. That's a real big part, and just really, really consistency. You can't go away.
Yeah.
Not for a second. So once you go away for a few weeks, it's like you're starting over. So you just gotta really, really stay on it.
Yeah.
You gotta stay on it, be consistent, and be visible, and go and put one foot in front of the other every day. Because before you know it, you turn around and you're further from the beginning than you are to the end. So you look back, you don't see the starting point anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now it's like, but you see that little light at the end. So you just gotta keep going straight.
Yep. And you got to trust you laid the right path to get you there.
Yes.
And that's what you're doing.
Yes.
Yeah. It's when you see it in like the NFL too. It's like, take like a Tebow, for example, all hype, not as much game in the NFL. And then you get like a Brock Purdy guy where it's like
No hype.
he lets his game talk for him. And then now people are like, who is this guy? And they're like trying to get more at him. It kind of seems like a similar thing with Merk. People
Tom
just
Brady.
see freestyle and they're like, what the hell? Yeah.
Tom Brady was
same
that.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Total anonymity. Who is this guy? And then you let your craft speak for itself, and people. I mean, even Jordan said that in The Last Dance. Like he's got the Jordan brand. They're like, did you always see the vision? And he was just like, I just was gonna let the game speak for itself.
Yeah.
And it's just like
Got to.
feel like that's what Merk had been doing. It's just skills, talent's undeniable.
Yeah, and you have to have the talent, obviously, but the work.
Yeah.
The work is everything. The work is everything. It really is, because if anybody who wants to see how to do this and how to be successful and how to win, I would say just study Merk. Study Merk. Do half of what he's doing. So just half.
You'll see some results. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
That's awesome.
Well, there's some other names, Jerry, we have on this list that we got to mention that you're affiliated with. Some big names, man. I mean, let me just throw out a few. We got DJ Envy.
Yes.
Obviously, Ice-T.
Word.
One big one for me that stood out because I'm such a fan, but Prodigy.
Word.
Mobb Deep.
Word.
I mean, we're
Peace.
talking legendary hip-hop. Rest in peace to Prodigy, man.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, how did that connect? I just got to hear something about
Okay,
something like
so well, me and him, we go way back from like little kids. His grandmother, rest in peace, is Miss Bernice Johnson, right? My big cousin, his name, may he rest in peace. His name was Kevin Hunt. He was a dance teacher at Bernice Johnson's dance school. She had a dance school. He was the main teacher there, and he used to rent the basement apartment from Miss Bernice Johnson, and Prodigy, or Lil Al, he used to be. He used to come over on the weekends and spend the weekend with his grandmother. And sometimes I would spend the weekend at my cousin's, and we would play together when we were little kids. He's a little older than me, so we used to play as little kids. But I lost contact with him, and I hadn't seen him in years, a lot of years, right? Mm-hmm. I didn't know that was the same person when he was on Mobb Deep as the little kid I used to play with. I didn't realize it.
No way.
Even when Shook Ones dropped, you didn't know.
Nope.
When did you find out?
I found out in a chance way. Okay, I was with my boy, the guy I was talking about earlier. I don't know if it was off air. Cutmaster C.
Yeah.
Shout out to Cutmaster C. I was helping manage him at the time, so we had to meet up with Mobb Deep to get some music from them for a mixtape. Wow. But we just met up with P in the city with Prodigy, right? I get out the car. He gets out the car. As soon as he looks at me, I look at him.
You guys do it.
He was like, he said, Bryce.
Get the fuck out of here.
What? And I was like, as soon as he said my name, I was like, oh. and then we was out there talking for like 2 hours.
Man.
In the middle of the city.
Oh my gosh.
Parked to the side.
Like what year we talking roughly?
This is 2000.
Wow. Okay. So yeah. So the Infamous had been out 5-6 years at that point. I mean, his Mobb Deep was on
he was
top.
huge.
Yeah, they were huge.
Yeah. This is when Infamous Records started. Wow. Man. This is around that time.
I'm glad I brought up
Prodigy.
That story is incredible.
So
yeah.
Once we reconnected, it was lit. Like, it was like little Bryce, little Al,
friends.
it was
that's
that.
The dream for the guys.
Like little kid friends. Like,
yeah.
There's a picture. I don't know where to find it because I lost a copy I had. We're in the bathtub playing with boats.
Damn. Okay,
that's crazy. Dog.
Like,
that's family. That's family, dude.
We were that little.
Yeah.
Wow. and that tight too.
Yeah.
Incredible. Man, Queens get the money, man. Yeah, come on, let's go.
Yo,
I'm gonna
no pause on that.
Yeah, no pause.
Yeah.
No
We
pause.
was little kids. Yeah.
It's all good. All good at that point.
Okay, I gotta ask. It would be hard to be closer with an artist than that. But were you that close with Waka? Because I saw that picture with Waka, and Waka was a formative one for me in my early high school, college years.
Well, I'm cool with his twin uncles.
Didn't even know he had twin uncles.
One is Joe the Boss, and one is Bimmy from Queens. Now, Bimmy is a notorious member of the Supreme Team.
Oh yeah.
And those his uncles, and I'm cool with them because I was tight with Supreme.
Okay.
So, which made me less tight with 50. That's a whole nother story.
Listen. Whoa. Okay.
Yo, wait, we gotta hear about that.
I have to bring it up because when I saw Jamaica Queens, I was like, 50's from Jamaica Queens.
We went to high school for our freshman year together.
With Curtis
Jackson.
Yeah.
Come on.
Well, he didn't go to school very much.
Yeah.
No way.
He was out the streets. Right
yeah, but when he did, we was freshmen in high school together. Like, I used to see him all the time. Like, he lived right up the street, and he was. He's just a guy from the neighborhood.
Man,
that's what he was.
The amount of talent in just
it's crazy.
blocks, like that's what people don't
Run
get.
DMC,
this is
50.
blocks, right? I mean, this is
Now, so that's different side of Queens. When I was little, I grew up on what's called the North Side, which is Hollis.
That's where Run DMC is from.
Yep, St. Albans, Cambria Heights. Cambria Heights is where the high school me and 50 went to was. It was called Andrew Jackson High School. Now, I lived there first. Then when I was probably 6 or 7, maybe 7, we moved to out west, and there's an area called East Elmhurst.
Okay.
And that's near Astoria and Queensbridge and that side. Moved there until like the 6th grade, into 5th grade, going to 6th grade.
Okay.
Then I moved back to Jamaica side when I was 6th grade, and that's kind of like my formative years.
Was out that was okay, cool.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I was back in Jamaica and back around, and you know, I met a lot of people, you know, that I still friends with to this day.
Yeah.
Really are a connector, man.
It's crazy, man.
That's awesome.
We're 6 degrees of separation. You're
Way
1
less.
degree away from,
Yeah,
from most
less
of
of
them.
that.
Most
Yeah.
everyone.
Way less. Way less.
Just a little bathwater away.
Word.
That's crazy, dude. That's a crazy story. I mean, that's like it's just history. It's part of history.
Nah, I really wish I could find that picture, but I've got pictures of me and P like out here. Like he was at my house here.
He came to Phoenix?
Yeah, he was here. He had a show, but the show ended up getting canceled.
I had tickets to that show in Tempe.
Yep.
Dude, I remember,
crazy. You told me
and
about
I remember
that,
it
yeah.
ended up getting canceled because there was a shootout the day before.
Yep. It was the Nipsey thing.
Yes.
Damn.
Yep. He was there.
I was supposed to be at that show.
He was in town, exactly.
Wow.
He was in town, and he spent the day with me. He was at my house. He was at my crib that day.
All types of blunts for blowing and all types of shit. That way.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, we was chilling. We just chilling, eating and relaxing,
Yeah.
and you know, he actually even did a song with my artist at the time, which is still unreleased.
Dang.
Yeah,
What do we got to do to get that released, Bryce?
I
Come
don't
on.
know. I don't know when but he's not my artist anymore. But
Okay.
he's still my son's godfather. He still does music, so I don't know what he's gonna do with that verse, but he still has it. We talked about it like from time to time.
Sitting on gold.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. I love how, because I feel like there's the stereotype of like the husband's friend coming to visit for the weekend, and it's usually like some bummy, debaucherous, like frat friend or something like that, like the Yumi and Dupree. And imagine like she's got all hyped up, like, great, I got this guy's fucking friend coming out here. I'm gonna have to entertain him. It's Prodigy. Like, what? Oh, you're welcome anytime. Like, that's so funny.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Drew, you got anything?
I kind of wanted to go back to the management portion. Something I'm really interested in. There's, so many artists that I, work with, I do sessions with and whatnot, and a lot of them the same thing. Man, I wish I had a manager. I wish I had, this and this, to take care of things. What is your schedule like when it comes to managing an artist? And I think you manage multiple artists, if I'm not mistaken. How do you manage
Yes,
that on a daily and weekly basis?
Well, it's kind of like on cruise control at this point, like as far as how I break down things. But I really technically only manage one artist, and I do consulting for several others.
Okay. Okay.
So it's a little bit a different kind of workload for the consulting than the management. The management is it's at a point where we have a routine. So as long as we're hitting all our points, it kind of runs the way it runs. When different things come in that I have to different opportunities, like say you guys call and you guys want to schedule him for an interview, and then we handle that type of stuff and things like that. But with the consulting, it's more of me finding opportunities for the artists and plugging them into things, and that takes more. That's more work for me doing the consulting.
Oh, that's
But it's also like a artist. An artist has to pay me to do that,
Right.
Yeah.
like up front. You know what I'm saying? So they want to see a return on that dollar like right away. They paying, so I got to make sure that I'm doing the things that's gonna help them advance.
Wow, that's interesting, because the way, when you were setting that up there, I thought the way it was going to go was you only manage one at a time, because that's the hardest part and that's more involved and you're in that living day to day. But it sounds like you've got that under control, and getting new business and getting people started is difficult. So it's like funny to hear that confirmed. from you. Like, yeah, no, just trying to get someone new off the ground is by far the most taxing part of this. So
Yeah, yeah.
stay motivated out there.
Yeah, right.
He's a professional,
and then you
still-
gotta have something to manage. So you gotta build yourself up to a point where you're getting enough business and enough people looking to do work with you in order that you can't manage it yourself. So that's kind of what it is too.
Yeah. Okay. I got one more. I was gonna ask you. This one's a throwback. This was from the research. If I threw out "The Joy of Sexy" to you, does that mean anything? Phoenix New Times, late 2000s.
The Joy of Sexy.
Did you maybe throw like a night for ladies and men?
No,
out
I
there?
did. No, it was Swag Thursdays.
Swag Thursdays. Oh, okay.
Sexy
I thought it was called this.
Women and Gentlemen Thursdays.
Oh, okay. I got that wrong. That must have just been the title of the article. I was like, "The Joy of Sexy" is a wild name for a night out. Dude. Swag sounds much more in line with like a flyer. I was I was gonna ask you. I was like, "The Joy of Sexy." What?
Yeah, but it was dope. It was a dope night. It was a vibe. How long have you guys been here?
Yeah, I've actually lived here 2 separate times. So I lived out here in like 07 into 08, and then spent a couple years away and then came back, and I've been out here since like 2009.
I've been out here since '09 as well.
Okay, so you kind of missed a real dope era of Arizona.
Just like the Willie North Pole, Hot Rod,
You missed that.
Blunt Club kind of era.
Oh,
down
Blunt
there.
Club was
Yeah,
sick. I
yeah.
knew about Blunt Club.
Yeah.
The Door. There was a club in Scottsdale called The Door,
Okay.
and it was Groove Candy Wednesdays, and Carly Hustle was the host, and she used to be on the radio when it was Power 92.3 before it turned to Power 98.3.
98.3. Okay.
And she had an amazing Wednesday night, vibey, neo soul, hip hop night on Wednesdays, and
Okay.
it was lit every Wednesdays, and it had like pro athletes used to just pop through, like it was just crazy.
In Scottsdale, like in Old Town?
Yes,
Down here? Oh, wow.
It was crazy.
Wow.
And it was because it was the hot spot. It wasn't like nobody was paying them to come.
Yeah, it was just a cool place to
It
be.
was the place. Like Allen Iverson came, Shaq. Like
What? Dude, could you imagine just being in Old Town? AI once.
Crazy.
Like it was like stuff like that. It would happen regular, like nothing.
Wow.
People would love to have games on nights when that was gonna on a Wednesday game, and you know the athletes is coming,
They're coming.
Damn.
Okay, wow.
right? So it was just that kind of thing.
Wow, okay.
And we did a night. The next night, it was Thursday, so people would have so much fun at that that they
Keep
would
it rolling into
they
Thursday.
They would take the party right to ours on Thursday.
That's awesome. Okay, so it was swag. So sexy women and gentlemen.
Yep.
Love that. That's good. Okay, way better than the joy of sexy. I was gonna have to question that when I saw that on that thing. I'll show it to you. I'll show you what I found on that one because it was pretty funny, dude. I was like, what is he thinking?
And I remember they came, like they just showed up because it was like it was buzzing.
Oh, the New Times did? Yeah. Okay.
The night was buzzing that they just showed up. They wanted to report on it.
Wow.
Everybody was talking about it, like, yo, this is crazy.
So was some reporter that walked away. He's like,
We ended up doing a fashion show.
Really?
What?
We did a fashion show, huge fashion show. It had like everybody that was popping at the time involved in it, and it was kind of like designed after the Rip the Runway, but we called it Wreck the Runway.
Nice.
And it was dope. And we had a huge. It was at Anderson's Fifth Estate. That was the spot too.
Okay. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's closed now. It's a spot. It's
Got
a spot
it.
in Old Town, but it was a very dope event. We had performers and we had different vendors and different people, and it was really nice. I wanted to do another one, but we never got a chance to do it.
That's awesome. One other thing, so I'm a little hazy on the history. I'm hoping you can fill it in there. But again, I was watching another interview you did, and it sounds like did you have some sort of early tie, or at least were kind of around when Def Jam South was starting to look for artists and start acquiring talent? Or
Desert Storm.
Desert Storm. Okay.
Okay, so because of me bringing Joe Budden into the fold, they was like, man, maybe you can,
Bring another one. Yeah,
maybe
you got an eye
find-
for talent.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we were looking for artists, and then I ended up coming out here, and we still were looking for artists while I was here.
Mm-hmm.
It was like early MySpace days.
Okay, nice.
So Desert Storm had a artist page, and we had, the top friends, and I was on it, and a bunch of everybody else was on it. Clue, Fabulous,
Okay, yeah.
all
yeah.
these people, right? So that was like currency back then. So like people just automatically wanted to know who I was
Because
and
you were on the list, yeah.
why was I on that list?
Yeah.
And then it just got, it got me into any situation out here I wanted to be in, like
Wow.
any door, any radio situation, anything. Like that MySpace page was like,
That was the resume.
Those are the
goals, too.
Not to brag, I'm in the Fave 5.
yeah. Top
right. And they already knew it. They knew it. It preceded me. So like, they saw me and they was like, "Oh, you're the guy that's on
That's crazy, man.
Joe Budden's Top Friends and Desert Storm's Top Friends," and
You're someone. Yeah.
exactly. And that
That's
was
awesome.
like, it was like, but I was really out here looking for talent, and it made it easy because the talent came to me.
Nice. Yeah, that helps. Yeah.
So we were kind of looking for artists out here. And then like not too long after it was like a change of regime at Def Jam.
Yeah.
And
okay.
that kind of changed what they were looking for. Once they started shifting towards, they had signed Jeezy, they signed Rihanna, they signed Rick Ross.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So it was more of a
Young Jock was sounded Def Jam style too for a minute.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bad Boy South.
Oh, that's right. Sorry. Bad Boy South.
Yep. And that was, everybody was doing the South thing. So Desert Storm was trying to do a South thing. Then they had Scarface was the president of Def Jam
Def
South.
Jam
Wow.
South, yeah.
And then they signed Luda. And that was Def South.
Wow. Yep.
So everybody, like, the South was the new movement. Desert Storm was trying to do it. They signed an artist that you may or may not remember. His name was Magnificent.
No.
Magnificent Bout His Cash.
Yes, him.
They said it's still tipping. I know
Yep.
just a shout out. Yeah. Magnificent Bout His Cash.
Him.
Yeah. No way, for real.
Yeah, Desert
Wow.
Storm
Pull,
signed
Jared.
him.
Okay, that's cool.
Good job.
Yeah, that's
for
cool.
real.
Yeah.
Good pull,
Yeah.
But they couldn't use Magnificent, so they ended up calling him Magno. When they really went to use it, it was already a name that was taken.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So,
That's-
but he was down with them. He was down with that whole move with Switcher House and all those guys.
Wow.
But Clue signed him.
Okay.
They never really put out a project, but he did some mixtape stuff with Clue.
Okay.
And so a lot of guys that like even Ransom, he's doing a lot of big things independently now, but he's been around since then.
Oh wow. Is he's the one that did? Doesn't he have that song with Young Thug?
He was on some Mike Will Made It stuff, right? I think I might have seen his name.
Ransom,
I don't know if unless I'm thinking of someone else.
Ransom, he is in the same vein. He's in the same vein as like those East Coast guys like 38 Special and even Griselda or even Lloyd Banks or
okay. Wow.
or Graf or those guys.
Got it. Okay.
Like he's in that same class of like high level MC.
Yeah.
I want you guys to do some research on Ransom.
I'm going to. Because listen, Lloyd Banks, The Hunger for More 1 and 2, I still bump those albums till this day.
He's probably Ransom is probably one of the best rappers out there, period.
We'll bump him on the way home, Jared.
Well, yeah, I know what we're playing.
Yeah.
I know.
Nah, he goes crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, he goes crazy. So yeah, shout out to him. Shout out to Rand. But he was down with us back in the day. Even have you You guys, are you guys familiar with Stack Bundles?
I was just about to ask about Stack Bundles, so I'm not super familiar. I know that you may have discovered, and I looked into the story and know a little bit about it, but sounds like he was just about to get.
I didn't discover him, but I knew him.
Okay.
And he was affiliate. He was with Desert Storm too. I knew him well. He's a good friend. Mm-hmm. And he's from that like Stack. The A Team, which was a group that Joe Budden put out, was Ransom and a dude named Hitchcock, and they all rapped together. Wow. So it was Ran, Hitch, Stack, Joey, Fab, Paul Kane.
Oh, Fab was on that?
What?
Yeah, wow. They all rapped together.
Crazy group.
That is.
They all rapped together.
Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
It was crazy. And even Mano,
Mano.
He was around too back then.
Wow.
And that's to this day, that's my guy.
That's awesome. Yeah, I saw you had some pictures of them. I remember high school. I was bumping all the above.
Yeah, that was a great song. Great song,
dude. That was a huge one.
Man.
I love that.
Word.
Mano.
Well, boys, I know we're coming up close to time. I feel like I want to give each of us one more last thing to say to the boy. One thing I guess I'll end with, man, is you have a quote that I just want to, reiterate and just get back to you. But, you had talked about how you're not necessarily passionate about music, but more than music business. But this line right here, you said, people want to make millions, but you want to make millionaires. Is that still a stance you live by?
That's a fact. That's
powerful, man.
That's 100% fact.
And that's what you're doing with Murk, and yeah. Man.
Word.
Yeah, I caught that, I think, in an interview you had said once, and I was like, I got to bring that up to him because I've never heard anybody say that before.
Nah, for real.
Man, it's true.
Wants to make millionaires.
I love it. Man, just thank you for coming on. I have so much respect for the way you move. I think summing it up the best is you're really out there doing it. Like you said, that's the bottom line. I think people think there's some big mystery or secret, and certainly everyone has their special sauce, but like we're just learning ourselves too. It's you just got to get out there and actually do it, and you guys are doing it every single day.
I see you guys, man. I see you, man. Keep going.
Appreciate that. Appreciate that, man.
Thank you.
Ear God.
Man, honestly, it's been a blessing the chance to hear you speak. It's so funny when we discovered Murkemz, and first thing we did is who does he know, and who maybe works with him and things like that, and your name obviously came up, and we didn't realize like how well connected you are. But what I love about you is you're so in the background doing many things and really knows, but then now that we got to sit you down
puppet
here,
master.
yeah, it's just like your personality like is so humble and so like and even just the quote that Dom brought up, it's like you never make things about yourself, and I think that's what showcases why you've been able to connect with so many legends, people of many different places in the music business. And it's just, I think that's something that many managers or people in the industry should take note and to say, like, your personality really holds a lot of weight. It's not really also what you bring to the table, but the thing that lasts forever is the personality that you bring to the table.
Man, I really appreciate your words, man. It mean a lot.
And I just want to end on this because I've got to mention it. We were at the Arizona Elite event, and the event was midway going on. You walked in an all-white Adidas suit, and you sucked the air out of the room, bro. It was like immediately everybody. Remember that?
It was like turbulence on an airplane, and the mask come down. I saw a woman scramble to get hers on before she helped her kid. Dude, you had to like put the tank on, dude. It sucked the air out of the room.
That was the presence, though. Like I said,
like
man,
8 people, and it was
just like everyone rushed you, but man, again, like that's why I called you a legend in the beginning, man. Your connections, we've been keeping up with Murk and what you guys been doing, man, and we're honored to have the opportunity to sit down and chop it up with you. And man, thank you.
Word, man. I hope you guys continue to follow what we're doing, man. I really appreciate everything, man. It's been a pleasure, man. Great. It's been a great time.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
It's a wrap, boys.
Thank you. Thank you.